Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hey everyone, I'm happy to be back. Sorry I missed the last 2 weeks. It's been a little bit of a crazy time for me, but I'm back and everything's going well, and I hope that everyone here is doing well too. And so today I have the animals with me. It's been like, for the past 2 weeks, I have to tell you, it's been pretty interesting talking with all these animals that have been coming through for the show, but also just in life. It's really, really cool. Even the horses have been really talkative lately too. So anyway, so I have a lot to tell you about today, and very excited to be here once again. This is like so cool. I love my show and I love being here with all you people. So anyway, so what's going on with the animals is that, well, first of all, let's talk about how to communicate with them, because, you know, this is something that we always talk about in this show every time, because I want you to feel good about communicating. So telepathy is the way that we communicate with the animals. And with that being said, it is the universal language of everything. So you can communicate with animals through telepathy with the mind-to-mind connection, and that'll give you information about, you know, anything pretty much. It's pretty cool now. They're so advanced that, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, is that they're so much more advanced. So much more is coming through with all the messages. I've been having readings with a lot of animals here lately as well. And it's been so interesting, their messages for us as humans to help us along with our progression and with their own progression. So our pets are so important in our lives. And I know you all feel that way, just like I do, that our animals are here to help us. And we are also in turn there to help them as well, with their progress, with their soul progress, and what they're here to do. So it's really a lot of fun. So I can't wait to talk with you about some of the animals we have today. We have 8 animals to speak with today, and I do appreciate everyone sending in their pictures of their pets and their questions for their pets as well. So the second way to communicate is through the entrainment. And entrainment is a heart-to-heart connection. So when you are learning to speak with the animals, or anything for that matter, if you ask with your heart to connect your heart to their heart, you can also get some really interesting information as well. And you can even tap into other beings, you know, in other realms, like the unicorns and the dragons. And by the way, the dragons have been very, very, very talkative lately too. So more than likely we'll be speaking to them next week, because they have a lot to say towards what's happening in the world right now. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And so, so interesting with all the new energies that are coming in, and all the shifts and changes that are being made. And I'm not sure if you are all into this right now, because, but I have to tell you what's been happening with me. It's all about health, you know, for everybody in my family and myself, everything. And so recently it's just been one thing after another, health-wise, not in a bad way, but actually in a good way, to just become more aware of your health. And that being said, the animals are also bringing this forward as a message too. So it's very interesting how we are all, you know, one, basically. And we're all in this together, which is a great thing, because that's why we're here. And so anyway, so that being said, I have something to tell you about with that. I was reading some information just recently. I was actually pulling some cards for myself, and I was reading some information about Indra's web. So Indra's web is really, really interesting. And I've been talking to everybody I know about this, and it's really cool. And so the basic gist of it, and you can look it up yourself if you know, if you're interested, but the basic gist of it is the oneness of the world. And so Indra's web is a web. It's, you know, just like, say, a spider's web. And every little facet where it's faceted together there's in the story, there's a pearl, but you could call it a gem or whatever it is that you want. And each of these pearls and gems actually reflect each other. So how we are in the world, even our animals, you know, and how they react and how they are being presented, are all reflecting each other. So it's so interesting. I mean, if you really put that together, you know, we are all reflecting each other, and we are all one in the essence of whatever it is that we're creating in the world right now. And it's so cool. It's really, really cool. So anyway, so that being said, I love the animals and the pets that we are talking to today. They're hysterically funny, some of them. Some of them are, you know, a little bit more on the serious side, just like all animals and pets that we have. They have all kinds of different personalities. And a lot of times, and it's really kind of fun, your pet will take on your persona as you evolve and your pet evolves. So, I have to tell you, I cannot sit still. And then I can sit still for hours, and then I have to like move again. And it seems like that's the way my pets are too. You know, even my horse is like that. So it's really kind of funny. You know, you can sit still for a few hours, and then you have to like get up and start moving. You can't sit still forever. And so both of my pets are like that. So it's really kind of fun to see the personalities of your pet, you know, being exuded into you, or your personality put into your pet. So it's really neat how you reflect each other. And that once again goes back to Indra's web, how we all reflect each other. And so it's really, really interesting. You know, they keep us healthy. They keep us, you know, exercising. They keep us, you know, loving life in some cases. They keep us thinking about things in other cases, like my dog, for instance. She definitely helps me think quite a bit about things that I not always want to think about. And so anyway, so it's fun having these pets and animals in our lives. And like I said, I'm so, so excited to talk with you about them today. The other thing that I wanted to just mention real quickly before we get into speaking with these, I have 8 pets with me today. These 8 pets is that there are many different ways to communicate, in the sense of where you're hearing or you're seeing or you're feeling, all these different ways of communicating for all of us. And each is very individual to each person that is in this life. So for instance, I can hear quite well, which I'm so lucky in that essence. So I can hear the animals quite clearly, just like I'm speaking to you. And if you spoke back to me, then I could also hear you or hear them as well. And hello to Lori. Thank you for being with me. And Super Space Cookie. I just love saying that. It's so much fun. Hello. And so anyway, so there's other ways. Like I'm holding a class here on Wednesday nights after this show, and it's really kind of fun. And everybody's learning their own special skills, but they have to learn how they receive the information as well. So that I want to talk with you about a little bit here. So sometimes you can hear, like I said just now, you know, I can hear very clearly and easily, but not all the times, because some of the pets don't speak, you know, as clearly. They show me pictures. And so, so I'll get pictures, and some of them will show you symbols, you know, a symbol that means something for you and something for them. And other, I've heard of people getting like a movie camera, like sort of like a, you know, like a movie screen going across, you know, and telling a story. And so you can receive information that way. The other way is you can actually feel the energy of the animal or the pet, which I do too. Hi, Linnell. It's good to see you. So Anyway, so feeling the energy of the pet is really a lot of fun too. And they have great energy almost always because they are all about unconditional love. And so that's really cool to like tap into that. And then you can go ahead and start feeling your own love in your own heart and also in their hearts. And so it's just pretty amazing. So, so that's what most of the animals are here to do, is to help remind us humans about unconditional love. Hence the raspberrylight.com. That is my website. So that's the reason for that color, is that when your heart chakra goes from green to pink, it goes to pink, that raspberry color, when it's in the state of unconditional love. And so much fun to think about and to actually get into. So it's really, really cool. There's one other thing that some people see, and that's like the aura around the pets, and or energy colors, you know, that are out there. And we've talked so much. Hi, Amy. It's nice to see you. So we've talked so much about the energy around, you know, around everything and the colors of everything. I mean, hence the unicorns. You know that the unicorns are just beautiful beings that are full of these bright colors that I can't even describe to you. I mean, it's like, it's kind of insane, these colors that they come up as, you know, but each one is so individual and so much fun. So colors are so important too, and they also surround your animals and pets. And it's a lot of fun to try to see these colors as well. Like when you're looking at your pets, or you're, you know, imagining like what their favorite color is. Now, this is something that's a lot of fun to do. And I've actually been, you know, talking to my pet about this just recently. Her name is Lily, and she's a dog. And so I've been talking to her about it because when I started, well, anyway, I'm going to get back to Lily. So when Lily, she really likes the color turquoise, which is really kind of funny because I really saw her as red. Like I saw red, but nope, she's turquoise for sure. So she's a big turquoise fan, which is so interesting. And then when I changed my barn colors, so I had red and black as my barn colors because I used to own a horse farm and travel all over the country and show horses, hunter jumpers, and, you know, compete and all that kind of stuff. And so I have a horse, and my horse's name is Madonna. And yes, she's definitely a Madonna, just so you know, and very opinionated and quite a large, you know, energetic being. And so I love her so much. She's also extremely opinionated and super funny because of it. But anyway, she got really upset when I changed the barn colors from red and black to pink and blue. She was like disgusted with the pink. And every time I put pink on her, you know, her ears would go out and she'd be like, really? Seriously, this is the color you've chosen for me? She's like, this is not my color. So anything but pink is fine. So the blue she was okay with, and but she wanted the red. She really liked the red. So it's so much fun to play with colors with your animals too, to see, you know, what brings them joy, what brings them happiness, you know, that type of thing, like the colorful beds that we put on them, or, you know, jackets, or anything else for that matter that we have that, sorry, my nose is running today, or anything else that we have that, you know, brings out color. And in our own, it's funny because our colors that we have that we love is pretty much, you know, shown in our animals and pets too. Now, I like all colors. So it's, you know, it's pretty easy for me to have pets that have two completely different colors, which is the red and then the turquoise. But anyway, getting back to that later on, we will definitely talk about our colors and pets. And I was wondering if, you know, if you guys can definitely send in some of your pictures of your pets in their favorite colors. I think that'd be like a lot of fun if we did a show on pets and colors to see, like, you know, them showing off their favorite colors, you know, that they like so much. So we're going to go ahead and get started into these pets that we have here today because they are all being a little bit antsy, to be honest with you. And I can feel their energy. It's so cute. And so, so we're going to go ahead and start with a pet that has an orange sweater on, which is so cute. And her name is Lola. And she's very demure, and she's actually a dog. And so she's a black and white dog, and she's very demure. And she has mother-like energy. And she's like a kind of like a, I don't know, like a fairy godmother type pet. You can kind of see it in her face. She's so wise, but yet she worries a little bit like a normal, same mother would about her mom. In fact, she worries about her every now and then. And, but she's so fancy at the same time. So, she can kind of put it behind her type of thing. But isn't she just the cutest little thing? I mean, so adorable. I just love her. So anyway, so this is Lola. And Lola, I asked her, I said, hello, how are you? And she said, I'm great. Thank you. Awesome. And then I said, how's your health? And she said, it is good. And I said, do you have any pain? And she said, yes. And I said, where? And she said, right shoulder arthritis and a little bit in her neck as well. And then she mentioned possibly going to the chiropractor. So just so you know. And then this is Sandra's dog, by the way. And then I said, would you like a pet sitter? And she said, yes, I love people. I love being around people and having lots of friends. And then I said, do you have any messages for your person? And this was really neat, because I try to do this for all of you with your pets because they love to speak. They love to tell you things. So this Lola says, this life with you feels so special. We have been together before. I was a bigger dog then. Now I am a perfect small size. And then she smiled. She says, I love where I live and I love you. She loves snuggling and being with you feels so good, and it is so important in this lifetime. It calms your heart and helps keep a good feel to your essence and mine. I love you and thank you for communicating. So this is to Sandra, which is little Lola, and I hope that Sandra actually gets to watch this at some point, or if she's not joining us now, that's okay too. But anyway, we'll make sure that she gets her messages from Lola. So we're going to move on to Sheba. Now we have two Shebas. Sheba that I think is a dog and Sheba that's a cat. Yes, Sheba that's a cat is the one we're going to do. And it's a very furry cat. And it's Nancy's cat. And she's really cute, actually. She's so cute. She's got like lots and lots and lots and lots of fur. So so I said, hello. And she said, hello. And I said, then she said, I'm good. I love the cold and the warm. This cat lives in Colorado, just so you know. And then she says, I said, do you want to move to Florida? Because her mom is thinking about moving to Florida here in, I think in June, I want to say. And she said, yes, I love my person so much. Do not want to be left behind. I will go anywhere with her. She is mine and I am hers. And then Nancy wanted to know what makes her cough. And she said that hairballs mainly are what makes her cough. And then I said, do you have a message for your person? And she said, yes, I love being the cat. I am beautiful and I help remind her of this. There is beauty in everything, and this is my message. I want her to feel into the beauty as well so that she can recognize the beauty in herself as well. I love her, and thank you for honoring me. So Sheba is a very, very smart kitty and super beautiful as well. And she's talking about the beauty in the world, and it's so interesting how, they can remind us of everything from love to beauty. Each animal of ours or our pets all have such an interesting purpose in our lives. And so each one now is explaining some things to us, to help us sort of move along and stay within the right energy of who we are too. So it's really, really fun. I just love it. So thank you for sending your pets in. I really appreciate it. And totally love that we are doing this today. So Figaro is the next animal, and he's he's orange in a window. It's a really cool picture. He's in spirit, and he's Amy's cat. And there he is. Isn't he just beautiful? Oh my gosh, just love it with the plant next to him. He's so gorgeous. So, oh yeah, Amy's with us. There she is. She's at the bottom. So, so I said, hello. And he says, I've been wanting to talk with you. And I said, how are you? And he said, very well, thank you. And then I said, are you in spirit or somewhere else? He said, yes, I wear a tam and am. Oh, hang on a second. I can't read my own handwriting. This is terrible. Okay, so he said, yes. So meaning that he is in spirit. He wears a tam and is with friends, many like him over on the other side. So he's still on the other side, just so you know. Do you have a job? He says, yes, I love to help the new cats adjust. I am a professor of sorts. I show them new ways of being, personalities that they can adjust to. I thought this was really interesting. I got a little bit more information from Figaro just because he did want to speak more so than a lot of the other pets. So, well, they all want to speak a lot, but Figaro, for some reason, I was able to really, talk with. And so he's actually helping, like, so we talked about how the animals and pets are coming in. So they come in, and just like us, we're progressing. Our soul is progressing over time. And so our animal souls are also progressing. And so he's helping these animals or pets, adjust so that they can adjust their personalities according to like the next progression, which is so interesting. I thought that was so cool that that's his job. He helps them sort of pick their next personality. So I said, your behavior the last couple of months had changed. You bit me kind of hard and a couple of times, and I'm wondering what was happening with you. This is his mom talking, by the way. And he says, I was sad that I was leaving. I had to go. Did not really want to go, but we all go. I enjoyed the house and all my friends there. I'm still around. I check in regularly. He hangs out with the dog, by the way. And there are places he visits in the backyard. And then I said, losing you is very hard on all of us, especially your dad. Do you have a message for him? And he said, so much love. I helped him feel into his heart, really understand peace, then love. This helped me too. We've been together before. My purpose was to help with the love, understanding how to feel it in the body, calm the heart, and keep things peaceful. It helps me progress as well, keeping me more advanced, even though this has been my purpose most lives. I teach it now where I am, allowing each individual to recognize their own personality and then create their purpose out of that. I love it here, so we'll not be back for quite some time. I love you so much, and oh my goodness. Oh, and with you a lot. I still come to you in your dreams. Thank you for the beautiful journey I got to spend with you this time around. So Figaro is the cat and has quite a wonderful message for his people as well. So that was so cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful being. All right, so let's go on to Sheba. Now, Sheba is Suzanne's dog, and she is also in spirit. She's a black dog that's in spirit. And if you look at her picture, well, when she comes up, she's so beautiful. She is such a gentle and just so loving and so sweet, just a real kind, sweet, but she did protect a little bit while she was here as well. So she's really interesting to talk to. I really love speaking with Sheba. She was so much fun. So she said, so I said, hello. And she said, hey there. Yes, Oh, I got it. Okay, she said, hey there. And then she said, yes, I wear a bow in my hair now. So on the other side, I actually see her with a yellow bow right behind her left ear, which is really cute. I said, how are you? She says, a fancy girl now, very beautiful. Yellow bow represents love. I said, are you in spirit or somewhere else? She said, spirit, still here. She's learning new ways of being, so much advancement with the times. So she's taken a little longer to return. There are more options now, so it takes more time to plan, which I thought was so cool. See how much we can learn? This is like so much fun, isn't it? All right, so it says, do you have a job? And she says, yes, I help create the plans for the new coming. There is a lot of energy shifting, so new ways are being developed and understood. Very cool and very exciting. And then I said, do you have any messages for your person? And she says, I love you so much, had so much love in that lifetime with you. I will be back, this time with a little bit more energy and more advanced. I think it will be soon, so keep your eye out for me. We return to the same person when the lifetime is needed. Advancement will be made again when I return. I appreciate you so much and really love that life with you. Cannot wait to see you again. Thank you. So there you go. So that's Sheba, and Sheba is Suzanne's dog. So that was really, really cool. And yes, Amy, Your Figaro did have a lot to say, which was really, really cool. He must not have been that talkative when he was around, huh? So, but now he was. He was so talkative. All right, so let's move on. We're going to keep going here because it's 3:25 and I've got still a lot to tell you about stuff. So anyway, so with Sheba, she was explaining some things that was quite interesting to me as well when she said that, you know, with these there are new ways with this new energy that's going to be coming in for all of us. And we're already feeling it. I mean, like I said, the last 2 weeks for me has been a little bit challenging. And so I know it's coming from the energy that's around. And so I'm curious, you know, as to like what happens with our pets in the future as well. This will be a lot of fun to see them advance too. And it's really interesting. Like, I'm not sure if you've all noticed, but I've noticed, and even being able to hear them, it's I'm still seeing a lot more advancement, even with their speech, you know, and their words and their ideas, everything. I mean, it's pretty cool. And the horses even are, you know, I've been talking to them a lot lately, and it's been really interesting what they have to say as well. So, so there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot. And I'll tell you more when we get done with these guys. We have 4 more pets to talk to. So, all right. So Chewy. Chewy is the tiger cat on the brown couch, and that is Super Space Cookie's cat. And oh my gosh, he has so much to tell you. So Chewy, just real quick for Super Space Cookie. So we didn't get to talk to him too much. Well, not we, but me. I didn't talk to him as long as he wanted to talk, but Chewy has a lot to say, and I do mean a lot to say. So I just want to let you know, Super Space Cookie, that he's got a lot to say, and there is more for him to tell you than what he's saying today. He is funny, as you guys can see. He's got a ton of personality just by his little picture there. I mean, he is highly intelligent, has so much to say, and I keep saying that over and over again, sorry, but he's repeating it for me. So he's a little suspicious of things, but he's so funny. He's got like the greatest sense of humor. He's hysterical. Like, he is a really funny cat. So I said, hello. He said, hi. And oh, also, he has like this huge aura around him. So this cat showed me lots and lots and lots of energy. He's magic. And I'm not sure if you stare at his eyes in this picture, he almost like shape shifts right in front of you. Like, it's insanely cool. He is pure magic. This cat is pure magic. Really, really neat. So he's a bigger cat than he is in this body in reality of his size and aura and energy. He's actually told me that he is a panther. And once again, he can shapeshift and he travels at night. So really cool, interesting being. I mean, so cool. So anyway, so I said, how are you? And he said, good. And then I said, do you like where you live? And he says, I love it. I reign over everything. It's all mine. So he is basically saying that, you know, he's like, you know, the Lion King, where, you know, I rule everything I survey. You know, that's basically what he's saying. He's so funny. So he says, I said, why do you attack your person so much? And he said, to keep her on her toes. And then it has an exclamation mark. He said, she is mine, and I help her stay in line with my ways. So he does. He keeps her pretty much on her toes all the time from what I'm getting from him, which is really funny. So I see. The last question is, why do you wake up your person at 8 a.m. every day meowing? And he says, I wake you because it is time to get up. No sense in sleeping all day. This is my way, my schedule. There is much to do, and I love my food. So he, once again, has so much more to say, Super Space Cookie. I can't even tell you. I mean, he was just going on and on, but and was not able to get more information because I was running out of time. So please call me if you want to hear more from this guy, because Chewy is funny. He is so funny and such a cool cat. And I can't believe how magical he is. I mean, like I said, when I was looking at his picture, he actually grew, like the picture grew in size. It was, I've never seen that before. So it was very magical and really amazing. And thank you so much for presenting this cat to me, because I so enjoyed just being in his energy. He's such a funny cat. All right. So we're moving forward. So we're going to go to Judy's cat, which is a tiger cat, and it's in spirit. I did not receive the name. So if Judy is watching, if Judy could tell me your cat's name, that'd be great. But if not, that's okay too. She's very wise, and she's actually has an owl spirit. So she's a tiger cat. Yep, there she is. She's so beautiful. And it's really funny because you can see, and even in her face, like even if you look at how her nose is shaped and how her eyes, you know, are up, she resembles an owl. And Judy does have an owl as a totem animal. And so I feel that this cat is with her, you know, to help her with this, which is really cool. So it is nice to know that our animals do follow us through lifetimes, you know, and they're with us through several lifetimes. You know, they can be with us in at any moment in time, pretty much. I mean, they're just really neat. And but they can come back as, so they can be one animal in another lifetime and then come back as another animal in this lifetime to be close to us in that lifetime, or help us with some sort of, you know, some sort of, oh, you're welcome. I can't read you though. I'm going to have to see. It says, thank you so much. I'll definitely talk to you more about Chewy. Okay, cool. Yeah, because seriously, he's got a lot to say, and really feel a lot of magic with him. It's really interesting, the energy that that cat has. So, so that being said, this cat too, it also has a different energy as well, you know, but then she is in spirit. So that's easier to read. When they're in spirit, it's easier to sort of feel into the energy of, you know, what they were before. So it's kind of fun. But anyway, so this cat is a spirit cat, you know, a spirit cat, but she's also an owl spirit. So she's very wise, and she still hangs out with Judy quite a bit with healings and whatever else that is needed. And it's really cool. So she gives her a lot of information. So Judy asks her, do you have a message for me? And the cat says, love. You really are learning more about this, the transition from your head to your heart. I am so excited and proud of you. As you move forward, this will continue to get easier. There is so much more for you, so stay with it and trust. It is time for you to really step into your authentic self. I love you and thank you. So she was so appreciative that we spoke with her today. It was really interesting because I actually spoke to this cat today. And then I said, are you coming back? And she said, yes, I am already here. I am yours and you are mine, which is coming up as, you know, cats are like that. They kind of own their people, which I'm sure you sort of get that energy from your cat as well when you are dealing with your pets. I don't own a cat, or I don't have a cat right now. Well, I shouldn't say own, because once again, nobody owns a cat, but they do own us. And they're so much fun, you know, and so interesting at the same time, and just love it, love it, love it. So anyway, I'm not sure, Sugar, what you're talking about. Dexter, please. I don't know this one. We'll have to do Dexter next time, I think. So if you do have pets that you want me to read for you on the show, I try to do at least once a month, but I'm probably going to tone that down a little bit and do like every other month for these pets, because there's been so many more readings coming in outside of here. And so anyway, so for the show, but what I want to do is go ahead and have you all send in a picture of your pet, and with two questions, and then I'll ask more questions if I feel that I need to, and or if they want to talk a lot more, and then we can go ahead and get more information. But you can send it into loveraspberrylight@gmail.com, and then I will read and see if I can go ahead and get your pet onto the show. This time I was able to fit all 8 pets on the show, which was just amazing. But I kind of got into it right away when we first started the show today, rather than going into other stuff. And so yeah, so I should be able to do quite a few pets next show as well. So just send it in, and I'll let you know when we will do that show on pets the next time, which will probably be, let's see, where are we? We're at March, right? We're in the middle of March. And so we'll probably do it April, May, maybe the beginning of May. So anyway, we'll see. We'll just see it and we'll play it by ear, because there's so many other beings right now that really want to step in and talk, including the trees. The trees have really been very vocal lately as well. So I want to make sure that I honor every being that wants to be present at this time. And we're going to talk more about some stuff when I get done with this, with these 2 next readings. So let's go ahead and move on. So we have Tuxedo, which is Janet's, let's see, Janet's cat. Oh, yes, this cat is funny too. So this is Janet's cat. He's a black and white cat on the red couch. And once again, just hysterical. You'll see his picture. Isn't he adorable? Just so funny. So he's a really neat cat. So I want to tell you something about, and it's really interesting how I've like, the animals that come in, you know, once again, color is really important for pets as well. And it seems like that unless they are, so the white animals, the animals that are white, so if, you know, you see like a white rhino or the white alligators and all that kind of stuff, those guys are all more advanced. They really are more advanced in their level of soul, you know, so their souls are more advanced. And so it's really, really neat. And so the black animals are all about magic, or the darker colored animals. Usually they are about magic, and really, really cool beings to talk to. It all depends on what it is, but the darker they are in their coats, it feels like they are more magical, like, I don't know, like shapeshifters, and they can create more, I don't know, it's like they almost hold a wand and have this energy. They can create more energy around them. It's a really interesting dynamic. So feel into that and see what you think, you know, as you're reading pets and animals, but that's what I've been getting over time. So this little guy is Tuxedo, and extremely cool. And once again, a lot of magic too. Really, really neat cat, and so much fun to talk to. Has a great sense of humor, and absolutely loves Janet for sure. Is very connected to her. So it was really interesting talking to him. So anyway, so Janet just kind of got straight to the point, and she said, "Do you have a message for me?" And he said, "Hello, I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. You've made my life here more pleasant than I expected. I chose a tougher path this lifetime to create more advancement for both of us. I appreciate the sacrifices you've made too. There is so much more for both of us. I am here to help with more of this realization, to tap into your freedom to become what you want to and be who you are with the boundaries you need. This is my gift to you." So he's a really neat cat, and he has a little bit of a story behind him, but just a cool being. And like I said, just absolutely loves Janet so much. So I said, "Do you feel like you're staying much longer?" And he says, "I'm not going to be here much longer. You will know the time when it is time. I love you so much and feel so grateful for our time together." Now, that being said, I do want to mention this because it's really quite interesting how, you know, our pets do let us know when they are thinking about transitioning, but it doesn't mean like tomorrow. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I had my horse farm, it was a lot of fun, and I transitioned it into like that pink and blue. But when I did that, I was also transitioning the farm into more of a retreat center where, you know, people could come in and do modules with the horses, and, you know, sort of like a therapeutic session type of thing. And it was really a lot of fun and so interesting, and a lot of information came out of it. And so anyway, so that being said, while I was there, I had a little corgi dog, and her name is Penelope, and I absolutely love this dog. She was bringing like her sole purpose, and I was going through a divorce at the time and going through transition, trying to change my life and blah, 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 you know, like we all do. And so anyway, so she was there with me though. Every single morning I would walk outside and she would just literally bounce up and down. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, is to see this dog literally bouncing up and down. And she's a corgi. I'm not sure if y'all know what those look like, but they have tiny little short front legs, you know, and she was a very well balanced and beautiful little dog. And, but just so dang cute, and made me laugh every single morning. So her purpose was to bring me joy and to keep me, you know, going pretty much, you know, throughout the day. And because every time I would like look at her, she would bounce. She'd just start bouncing, and then she'd run a little bit and make circles or whatever, just to, you know, and she wasn't even a hyper dog. So that was like, what was the irony of all this, is that she actually did it, you know, to help release that energy and to help create more energy of this joy. And just so grateful for this little dog. But anyways, so that being said, there was a time when I was doing the retreat at the farm, and one of my friends who had come to the retreat actually said to me, she goes, Stacey, I really want to tell you this, but I'm not sure if I should. And I said, of course you should. You know, if there's any messages that come through, we do need to share them with each other so that, you know, we all receive, and we're honoring the pet or animal that is there, you know, giving the messages as well. So you have to realize that, you know, they're saying it or feeling it or, you know, giving, you know, the energy of it so that, you know, the person's supposed to receive it. So it's really important. So anyway, so they said to me, she goes, I want you to know that she's saying that she's going to transition soon. And I said, yes, I can feel it, but I don't know when. And she goes, oh, you'll know when. And I said, yes, I figured that. So when this animal, that, you know, when Penelope did decide to transition, and I did know because she actually had a heart attack pretty much. And so, but the thing is, and this is what's so interesting, is it wasn't for like almost a year later. So, so our pets, they give us time to prepare, you know, and they want us to know what's going on, and they want you to feel into their energy. So you can always sit with them and find out. Another time it was really interesting too, when I had a pet that, I had a horse, and he had actually sliced open his hoof with, you know, he stepped on a shoe and the clip went into his shoe and actually took off a chunk of his foot, which exposed an artery. So he was bleeding like forever. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, he's going to transition like right before our eyes, you know, basically bleeding to death, because you can't really stop blood on a hoof because it's, you know, it's a hard like surface. It's like a horn, you know, type of thing. Anyway, so I asked him, I said, are you going to live through this? And he said, yes. And I was like, well, what? And he said, yes. And then I said, okay. So then he showed me, and it was really neat, you know, because like I said to you, there's these times when you can like hear, see, feel, but he wanted to make sure that I clearly saw this number. And he drew a big loopy, just this beautiful, like gorgeous 20. And at the time he was 17. And so he's like, that's when I'm going to go. And I was like, wow, that's wild. So anyway, so it turns out that in October of his 20th year, he transitioned, but he transitioned because he had broken his ankle. So it was very interesting how, you know, these animals and pets, they know when they're going to go, and they do want us to be prepared, but they're not going to, you know, say it too much. You know, it's not like he said October of, you know, my 20th year. He just said when I'm 20, and but he was 17 at the time. And it was really wild because when he did transition, I didn't even recognize it until after the fact. And so I was like, wow, he told me 20 years old, and he was 20. So it's so interesting how, you know, our pets do help us once again recognize when they are going to transition. And they don't think of it like we do. You know, they think of it like they're there. They're here, and then they're there, and then they also can help us, or they might come back, you know, or they might wait and see us there. It all just depends, you know, on the whole situation and where everybody's going and the whole purpose of the souls and everything else. I mean, so much more than we can even fathom in our own little minds, right? All right, so we have one more pet, and this one is adorable, and her name is Maggie. And she's a little cute dog. Oh my gosh, when you see her face, you guys are just going to like just smile. And that's what she is all about, is creating joy, this dog is. And that's why we saved her for last. Isn't she so cute? Oh my gosh, she's so adorable. I just love her. She's got the greatest little voice too. I just love her. So this is Ruth's dog. And once again, her name is Maggie, and she is adorable. So I said, hello, how are you? And she said, I am great. I love my life. And I said, how is your health? And she said, pretty good. And then I said, do you have pain? She says, she doesn't really see well, like with her eyes. She sort of sees like cloudy, almost like cataracts type of thing. And she has a little bit of arthritis. But overall, she says, I feel good. Her heart is very connected to Ruth's heart. So this dog is what I would call a heart dog. And it's really neat how these heart animals are, they're so connected to you. It's almost like I was explaining to you, the corgi that I had, Penelope, she was definitely a heart dog, you know, where she really spoke to my heart like all the time. Like it didn't matter where I was, what I was doing. I always felt her in my heart. And so it was pretty amazing. So this little dog, Maggie, she's saying to Ruth that she says, heart, very connected to her heart, feels into her heart, loves fully with her heart, and she brings joy with her heart. That's what she does for Ruth. And so it's really, really cool. And then Ruth wanted to know, are you happy? And do you have a message for your person? And she said, she's so happy. She says, I love my life here. You are so important to the world, bringing joy wherever you go. Keep it up. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. We are connected through our hearts. I help you feel love in your heart. Thank you for communicating with me. I love you. So that's little Maggie. So it's so interesting how, once again, you know, our pets have these specific purposes for us. She's so cute. Thank you, Maggie. What an honor to speak with her too. So I feel so honored actually to speak to all of these beautiful beings that are here today with us. They're going to feel like they're famous now, by the way, every single time. It's so funny. I actually still have a friend, a dog. Well, still have a friend. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I still have a friend, and her dog was on the show. And every time I see her dog, she always tells me that she's famous because she was on the show this one time. So I just thought that was so cool. So yeah, so you might be speaking with your pets now, all these 8 little pets that we spoke to today, and find that they're going to be running around the house saying how famous they are because they were on the show and everybody saw them, you know, from all over. It's so much fun. But, or the ones that are in spirit might be running around the house too and celebrating. So, you know, be prepared for that too. You might see a little flash go by or something and be like, what was that? You know, and it might be a little spirit animal that's, you know, crossing your path there to let you know that they were also very excited and elated to be on the show today. But yeah, so let's just recap. So the pets are so important for all of us, you know, all of us in our lives, and they have a very specific purpose for being here on earth, as well as for being with us in our lifetimes too. And it's really interesting. And like I said, so my little dog Penelope, the one that I told you about, the corgi, she was really cool. I mean, she brought a lot of joy to everybody that came to the farm. I mean, they would look at her and just smile because she just had that way around, you know, that way about her. And it was so much fun to see that, you know, and to recognize that because she was a rescue. And then, you know, when it came to me and, you know, to like my, you know, challenging part of my life when I was being seriously challenged, she was there too to help, you know, create this beautiful essence of love and joy and, you know, happiness. I mean, I'm not kidding. Every time I looked at her and she bounced up and down, and even right now I can see her bouncing up and down. Her little ears are just like barely flopping. She's so cute. She just made me laugh all the time, and I just loved her so much for it. And so, you know, we are honored to have these pets in our lives. You know, it's so, I just love it. And I know that they feel honored and we feel honored in return. And so it's just a beautiful thing to have that honor between us and our pets. So, so anyway, so yeah, so then they also have, you know, past lives that are with us too. And this is really interesting because I actually had a horse that was in a past life, and he's really, really cool. He's in heaven now and said he won't be back, but he was funny. But I'm sure I've spoken about him quite a few times. And his name was Halo. And it's really funny how I have a horse named Halo and a horse named Madonna. But anyway, so Halo was a really neat horse, and so cool, so funny. I mean, personality to boot. You know, he'd stick his tongue out every single time he took his picture. Like, I am not kidding. He was so funny. And so anyway, so on his coat, you know, near his hind end, he actually had an open circle, you know, like a donut basically on one side, and then a closed circle on the other side of the hip. And people used to say to me, you know, that it was angel kisses. And he's actually the horse that drew the 20 and actually transitioned when he was 20. And I have to tell you, when I spoke with him, he told me about a past life that he had. Now, this isn't normal for animals to really talk about their past lives, but he was telling me about his past life. And what he did was he was an Indian chief's horse. And in this lifetime, he was a thoroughbred. So in a chestnut, so like an orangey color with like white stockings and a big white blaze. You know, he was fancy, very fancy looking. And but to have these markings on his hind end was highly unusual, really unusual. So I always asked him, I said, what are those for? And he said, it's to remind me of my past life. He said one that was very important to me, and it was this lifetime. So it was a lifetime as an Indian chief's horse here in the United States, I guess. And what he had to do, and I thought this was so cool because he actually like showed it to me with just his head. He didn't actually lay down, but he said he had to lay down next to the Indian chief, you know, and hide his ears by laying his ears flat on his head. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Like really neat. And he did it. He like looked at me and he laid his ears really flat on his head, you know, so that I knew that he was saying exactly what he was saying. And oh gosh, it was the coolest experience to talk with him about this stuff, you know. And then I could envision like what he was telling me and where he was. He was hiding behind a brush and they were hiding from the enemies. Now, I wasn't really clear on whether it was like, you know, another tribe that they were, you know, arguing with, or, you know, or if it was soldiers. I'm not sure what it was, but I just know that he was, you know, in a battle basically. And so they were hiding. So I just thought that was so cool. But anyway, so this just explains to you that there are quite a few past lives with all of our animals too, you know, and it might be with you, it might be with somebody else. He did tell me that I was the Indian chief's wife in that one, which was kind of interesting. And that I, I helped the horses with medicine and stuff. So that was kind of a nice honor to be, you know, told that. But yeah, it was really fun, you know, talking to him about that type of life. And so when you're talking with your pets, you can kind of get this information from them. You know, they have so much more information to share with us than we could ever imagine. And, you know, and they're so much more advanced as time is going on as well. Just like we as humans, you know, we're transitioning and coming back as, you know, another human if we want to come back as a human. And, oh, Amy, thank you so much. And so, you know, as humans, and so they end up, you know, more advanced, like I said, and they're even talking more about these things that I can't even tell you about. I mean, it's pretty amazing, all the stories that I have, like a book this thick full of all of the animal readings that I've done so far. And that's not even the ones that I've actually like given to the people. You know, I've mailed some of these off to people because of the wording that's very specific. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you too, is that, yes, thank you so much, Amy, for the donation. What was I going to say now? I've totally lost track of my mind. Anyway, so yeah, so it's very interesting, you know, that they come in and they tell us all of this really, really cool stuff and help us with understanding even the other side, you know, like that horse, for instance, Halo, he showed me where he is, and he sits underneath the tree in this huge field, and he gets up and he runs like, you know, like the wind, and then he comes back and then he lays down for a few, and then he goes off and grazes, and then he runs like the wind again, you know, because he was a racehorse in this past life and on the racetrack. So it was really interesting and so cool. So yeah, so it's a lot of fun, you know, to get information from our animals and pets and learn, you know, where they were and what they are. They also have, this is something else I wanted to mention as well, is they also have animal guides. Yeah, it's really interesting. So my horse, for instance, and I only know this because of my horse. So my horse, she talks about it all the time. And I also, during the time that I had the farm and we were doing the all of those retreats, my other horse that had actually transitioned would show up, and it was really interesting. And she showed up as my horse that I have now's guide. And it turns out, and this is what I really wanted to get into because I really want to talk about this in the future, and I've got to get more information before I can, but is Pegasus's. So there's not a lot of information out there on Pegasus or the Pegasus horses. And it turns out that my horse that I had when I was a little kid that transitioned and is now my horse's guide is a Pegasus. So she's an angel horse, which is so cool, right? So I thought that was such a neat thing. So this is something more that I need to look into because I've not done that yet, but I'm going to, and try to figure some stuff out because I want to talk about probably get back into the unicorns, dragons, and Pegasus's next show because they're all wanting to come through because there's a place called Zenith, and Zenith is like the highest dimension. of where these the highest celestial beings exist. That's what they say. So anyway, so it's all been very interesting and a lot of fun these past 2 weeks. I've been getting a ton of information on all kinds of things, like I said, and all these pets that are related to, you know, once again, that horse is related to the Pegasus, and or is a Pegasus on the other side, and has come in. You know, when she was born here, she was, you know, it's really funny. She actually, her nickname was Pegasus. Like everybody, all of my friends would call her, you know, Pegasus, which is really interesting too. So nothing's a coincidence, I have to tell you, absolutely nothing. And she could fly over anything. And she was short, which was pretty amazing. So she could jump huge jumps and fly over all of them like it was nothing. So she literally would sprout wings, and that's why my friends would call her the Pegasus horse. So yeah, so it's really fun, you know, very, very interesting how all of this is related to everything. Once again, with Indra's web, we all are related. We all reflect each other. We all have these beings that help us from the other side as well as here. You know, even our pets from the other side, like Figaro, the cat that we talked to recently, he was on the other, you know, he was in spirit, and he checks in on his family on a regular basis. So it's really a lot of fun to, you know, to think about this, because it's interesting for sure. And once again, we'll do that next week. I'm going to definitely make a note for that. For the next week's show is going to be the Pegasus and the unicorns. And we'll do some unicorn readings during that time as well, for sure. So if you guys want to join me next week, that would be fantastic for some unicorn readings and maybe some dragon readings, depending on who's going to come in. The dragons are definitely very, very active right now. And I know this with all the new energy that's coming through for all of us, it's going to be really, really interesting. And I have more stuff to tell you, because I actually have a lot that, once again, happened this past 2 weeks to me. And it's been a very interesting time. So I'm hoping that if you keep your ears and eyes open, we can talk on Saturday. I guess we have, oh, there's one other thing. I want to make sure that I thank the ICU Dr. Lauren Love and her staff and everybody that's there. They actually sponsored all of the shows and productions for March and April. And we are all so grateful. And I'm definitely very, very grateful. And thank you so much for that. Such a sweet thing. And also, we're going to have a show on Saturday, which is so much fun. Oh, there we go. ICU technician staff in the Boston area hospitals, which are so beautiful. Thank you so much. They sponsored the shows for all of April and all of March. And that's pretty amazing. Just amazing, amazing people. So thank you. Thank you. And she's named quite well, right? Her last name is Love. So she probably loves animals as well. So anyway, so that's really cool. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining me at today's show, and all of these beautiful beings that, you know, came in today for our show. You know, these 8 little pets of ours that are just such beautiful, beautiful spirits. And we'll definitely keep going with this, and we'll do the unicorns, Pegasus, and dragons next week, and see how, you know, we can get more information on the Pegasus. That's my main goal, is to find out more about them, because the other ones I sort of know about, but the Pegasus I do not. So I'm going to get more information. And that's pretty much it. So I love you all. And thank you again for joining me today. And I will see you next week for sure. I will be here. And I'm very, very excited that that we're moving forward in this glorious year. Oh, I do want to tell you one more thing, just real quick. March is going to be an amazing month, so stay positive, because I am not kidding. I don't know what's happening, but I'm sure that you've heard through all the other hosts and hostesses here on Goldylocks Productions, but March just seems to be like the energy is shifting, it's changing. Everything is going in like the positive direction. And so keep your ears and eyes open. Once again, got a lot of cool information that's coming in, and it's going to be fun. A lot of fun. And I will see you next week. I think it's St. Patrick's Day too. Oh yes, St. Patrick's Day. We get to talk. Maybe I'll wear something green. All right. I'll talk to you then. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.
This month's broadcasting is sponsored by ICU Dr. Lauren Love, ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in the Boston area hospitals.